Watcher mateys. Today I'm going to talk about the base image pipeline, which is basically I've done a bit of research for the last period, which is really annoying because I just want to get on with it, and as you can see in the background I am using it to get on with it, and I'll try and keep it short for you guys. And this one is a research video. It's also going to give you a load of workflows, nothing groundbreaking particularly, but it's just going to be the pipeline I'm using moving forward in 2026 to create content. My main aim is to create content. Where I'm at right now is I've figured out the way I'm going to approach it. I'm going to use QWEN 2511 for now, Z Image or ZIT, which is quite funny naming. Brilliant, really good, really fast, and I'll show you how I use it in particular for adding realism and tidying up QWEN 251 edits and why. And then Seed VR2, which I've only just got around to testing as an image upscaler, boom boom boom, up to 4K, which is brilliant. I never touched 4K before, and there's good reasons to do it now. It's not perfect, but it's fast and it's good enough for this stage. As I've been saying before, AI isn't perfect yet. I'm not trying to make perfect yet. I'm actually, as I'm looking at LTX, which I've been looking at a big time, I would now say we're in the 1980s of filmmaking. Before, we were in the 1970s with WAN. Back in May, we were in the 1930s. So we've taken quite a big leap from silent movies to 1970s, and a slower leap to 1980s, but we're not in a place yet to make really high quality, or more importantly, good story, because interaction with humans is it still looks like AI, and the gold standard to assume at this point is something that you can show to someone and they'll go, was that AI? Because you cannot do that at the moment. Well, you can, but with short clips, but you can't with storytelling. Maybe soon. Even the subscriptions aren't really nailing it yet. They're very, very close, but reasons. Anyway, so what I'm going to be talking about, quick plug, my book, Great Southern Land, probably out of focus, nice thick story about my journey across the top end when and I've started on it here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going into the pipeline of making base images. So this is Great Southern Land, nicknamed GSL, as you can see. I'll talk about the naming and stuff as we go on. Yes, this is AIMS. It's a bit of software that I'm working on to get out to you. It won't be free, but it's for storyboard management, and I'm ironing out a few things. So here's the first shots that I've been working on, and as you can see, I've got a guy which I'll probably change. I've already had to change the time of day that he's used, and I'm still going down the first frame last frame route for a lot of stuff, and I probably will continue with that. LTX, I've got a workflow which I'll be sharing with you in the next couple of videos. Let's come back to this. So it all opens with a train journey into the outback, or it opens more specifically with someone having a problem in the outback. That would be me. Anyway, so let's get to this. This is a real photo I took of me, and I was kind of like, should I use me in this, or should I use some actor or make a character? What should I do? And I just went, well, I'll use the photos to inform the story and then use them as a kind of baseline. So what I did here, I've got a photo. It's one of this is near the end, just informationally. That's why I'm kind of pleased with myself. That's at Shark Bay in WA, a beautiful area around Denham and Monkey Mere. And I'd done the outback. I'd done it on a bicycle, and I was rather chuffed with myself to have survived what turned out to be quite a challenging trip. And yeah, I was also kind of getting back to city, and I was on the way to start a new life in Australia and didn't really know what I was doing, but I was quite pleased with myself. And so I thought, well, this is a good body shot to use. So I need to get the arms down, and I can't see my face, but it will do as a kind of starting point. So this is where my base image process comes in, and this is my workflow process. This is QWEN QWEN 2511. I'll share this with the models. I use slightly different models. Yeah, I'm using the Quant models. I will share the information of what models I use, because I know you guys complain that I don't do that usually, which I don't, based on the assumption that you choose your own. I'm not a big fan of these subgraphs, but here that we are, we've got subgraphs. Everyone likes it tidy, but I'm trying to get under the hood. But yeah, so I cut out the picture, as I just showed you before, of me, the actual photo of Shark Bay, and I thought, right, I'll make the character from this, use this body shape, because what I did originally was I got a face and tried the thing, and I realised he's made the body shape kind of wrong. I thought, I don't really want this guy, he's not quite right. I did this, I think, with this workflow. Might be another, I won't even bother looking at it. But what does these angles is another QWEN image edit I'll show you in a minute, and it's really rather good. But yeah, so the text was, turn the man around 180, so he's facing the camera, he's wearing a beige collar hiking shirt, it's white there, but you know, half length hiking trousers and hiking boots. I wasn't too bothered about keeping to the same. I was testing this, I just wanted to see what I got. And what I got was, yeah, I got this guy out of QWEN. Now, here we go. I'm using the Quant distilled version. I mean, it's good. I'm also using the speed up Laura, so you get a result, and you get a fast result, but it's kind of bitty, and look, you can see it there, and that doesn't sit right in there, and he doesn't actually look like he stood where in the place at all. It looks like it's been photoshopped on. That's where Z image comes in. And what I did, this is so fast. I love Z image. It's really good, and at fairly decent sizes as well. So there's really nothing that needs messing with other than the aspect ratio. And what I did was I chucked him in, not very good, got him out, that'll do. But I wanted to change the look. He looked a bit too much like a guy out of Chips. I wanted someone, anyway. What I want to show you here was, this was QWEN Edit 251. Now, it's got its weak points and it's got its strengths, and when you try and just swap a face out using a second image to inform it, which is what you can do here and what I actually probably did with this picture, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it works more often than it doesn't. When I first tested QWEN earlier versions, I didn't like it at all. It was slow on my machine and it didn't do what I asked it. A bit like Context and those other ones that just didn't work. But 251 is really streaking ahead, and I'll show you another reason why I like it in a minute. Z image, what it really does here is stick in the phrase a realistic photograph of, and then importantly drop the denoise. You change these as much as you like. I've just left it at that, ERSDE. I don't know why or what it is. Pick your battles, what you fiddle with. Denoise, I'll go from, depending how much change I want. So really denoise is how much it's going to structurally change anything. If you want it to completely rewrite it based on the prompt, put it to 1. You don't really want to do that. And getting down, that's actually quite high, but I was facial structure or making quite a big change. I'd go to that. So anywhere between 0.1, and it's so fast you can test them, but that's what will give you minimal structure. Will keep the structure but make the slight change and it'll add realism. Now when you go too high, you start to notice it gets kind of weird, which you see in that was, yeah, that was Z imaged, and I missed that the hair looks weird, and my partner pointed it out straight away, and I went, oh, for fuck. But yeah, I don't know if I care. As always, I'm making the structure of the story, and I'm less concerned about high quality, but it helps to kind of get it right at the start. It's a balance. Anyway, I'm loitering again, so let's get on to the next stage. Once I got my Z image guy out, then I kind of couldn't find a good way to, at this distance, to make that face high quality. So what I tend to do is get the face done separately. So this is where I go into Krita, and unfortunately, and you can see I've paint background, there you go, look at that. So I'll blend it in Krita. So I use old school methods, and I won't do that great a job of it. It's just a rough one. Get it to sit roughly right. You can see the seams. Sorry, I wanted to show you how this plugs in, and you can work with AI, which is Ackley's plugin, but it's messing up today and not playing, and I don't know if it's this or Comfy, and I'll have to look into it. Anyway, so you get that done, you pipe that out, and I'll call that a done guy. So what next? Well, I need to get his arms down. So that, of course, boom, back into QWEN 22.5, and I love the simplicity. Change the man's arms in image 1 so they are relaxed at his sides. What you can also do is what they've done here. Look, change the furniture leather difference in image 1 to the fur material in image 2, and you can use 3 images, and it does work, but it also, I spent quite a bit of time fighting it to stop it putting tone tacks in on a shot, and I couldn't get it to obey me at all. But anyway, so change the man's arms, get the man's arms down. Very simply done, very quickly done in QWEN. Boom, done. Haven't lost any quality in other areas, which is great. That's often an important key thing to pay attention to. You know, this isn't sitting right, but I don't care, because what I'm after next is this beast, which I will also share with you. But this comes from Benji. If you don't follow him, you should. Future Thinker, he's on YouTube. Now, so what this does is it gives you multi-camera views, and I won't run it now. I don't even bother putting prompts in. I've done it with the arms up first, you can see, and then I've done it with the arms down. How well has it kept the face? You know, there's iffy things here. I'll definitely have to go back and fix that. And at the moment, I'm not building the character. But what I was actually after, more importantly here, was the body shape, because I'll do a close-up to inform the character. And will I do Laura training? I don't know yet. For this story, I probably could do, because there's going to be much more of a solo journey and only occasional interaction. Well, not occasional, but interactions with people. But to be confirmed. Importantly, this gives us now a very good way to get fairly decent quality character angles, and I'm sure you know about this one, so it's available. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's in the templates for ComfyUI, and that might even be where I got it from. Again, I'll give you the models that I'm using, and that covers that. Now, the next thing on this little journey this morning for this pipeline was I use Z image to get the quality. I also use, you see, you get a plastic face, but if you put that through Z image at a low denoise, it will fix that. It adds realism. There's probably even Laura's that will do it even more and even better. Characters tend to drive themselves, I've noticed, once you get a rough idea. So does that look like the same guy? I mean, it could be. It's arguable, really, isn't it? It's often worth taking the clothes out of the shot when you're trying to decide if someone looks the same, because things like that can trick your mind into thinking it, and also get second opinions because of revision blindness. Working on this all day, every day, you soon start working on shit and thinking it's great. You just don't see the problems. As, again, look, the hair, I fixed the hair there. That was one important thing as well, because just a cursory comment from her, and that was enough, and I went, oh God, she's right. Anyway, so the final thing in the pipeline there is, once I've gone QWEN Image 251 to get the shots or swap things around or change the angle. Z image, I'm only really using it to add realism. I've also provided and will provide a Inpainting, which I tried Inpainting with Z image. I really didn't like it until I found Lanpaint, and I installed that. I don't think it's that great. It's good, it's okay. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, maybe I need a better model, I don't know, but it's there and I'll provide that. And finally, Seed VR. It's really rather good and really rather fast, and here I've been using it for. Now, this was a weird thing. I did start to notice there's a few, depending on the quality, you can, you know, you have to muck about, but that's the same with all things. So now what I would recommend is going for the 7B model and going as high as you can. And this, I was surprised it even worked. I started with the 3B model and it was good, but it wasn't ecstatic. That's the wrong word, but it'll do. And then I used this one, and I should probably show you an example by running it. So let's go. 94 seconds for 4K. I mean, there's this kind of tiling thing, and it's kept some of the issues in there. It hasn't probably fixed them, but I'm going to heat mirage this a bit anyway, heat wobble it. Now here's a weird thing it does, like it's make mini things, but in the context of the size I'm going to be working at, that doesn't matter. You can see it's already trying to change this into a cow or something, and there's some, what it's thinking about might be people here, and I haven't even tried to find out if there's ways to tell it not to do things. So that's that. I will give you that workflow. You know, that's not anything new, it's out there anyway in the wild. I'll give you all these workflows. Hopefully this, I'll maybe put some notes in them if I get time. Probably won't actually. That will do for today, but that's the pipeline I'm going to be working with initially for creating the base images. And the base images I will be using mostly first frame, last frame, not always, but that tends to be my approach. I've already realized that new stuff is really working better than the old stuff from 2025, so I'm going to make a new 2026 folder on the website for research now, but all the old stuff's viable. I've been looking at it as a comparison. I've also got to look at Wanimate. I'm going to do a video on Wanimate quite soon, because that thing is fantastic and I think I'm going to be using it a lot. But yeah, that will do for today.